Hike. Go, Ollie. Hike. Hike.
Hike?
Run.
Hike? Waiting for me to kick it.
Hey guys, why you got your jerseys on?
Because Bronco won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, the Broncos won the Super Bowl. Crazy. I can't believe it. But there's the boys, united in orange. Hey, buddy. They're happy. Now, I'm not a huge football fan, but my son Everett is a big-time Bronco fan. I believe that God moves and directs our lives every day. And I also believe that God gives us these really special gifts that really minister directly and specifically to our heart. And with the Broncos winning the Super Bowl, I thought I'd tell you how God really showed love to my boy Everett when earlier this year he and I got to go to a Broncos game. I was driving along with my oldest son, Everett. He's in the back seat. And we were driving downtown Denver, and we were driving past the Broncos Stadium, a mile high. Everett says to me, it was quiet at the time, but he says, "Hey, Dad, I think it'd be cool to go to a Bronco game someday. Do you think we could do that sometime?" Now, what goes through my mind is, gosh, Bronco tickets are really hard to come by, and they're really expensive, right? That's what first goes through my mind, but I think, God, what do you think? Do you think we can do that sometime? That might be cool, huh? I just kind of a prayer, and then I say to my little buddy, I say, "Yeah, hey buddy, all right, maybe. Yeah, we'll see." I don't know. Something actually in me was a little bit hopeful for that. Even though I didn't have the money, I didn't have any context, I had no idea how I would actually even get tickets to a game. It was 3 days later, I get a text from a friend of a friend. He says in the text, "Hey, I've got 2 tickets for you if you want to go to the Broncos game." I couldn't believe it. It was one of those moments that I knew God was definitely on this. So that day comes, I'm driving up to the Broncos game with Everett, and I was praying about it. I felt like we should go to a special lunch before the game. So we drove up there, and across the street from this stadium, it's my favorite Mexican restaurant. We go into this restaurant, and this is a hole-in-the-wall type restaurant. Now, it's not your typical Mexican restaurant in America, mainly because it's all in Spanish. The menu boards are all in Spanish, but it has the best Mexican seafood you can find in town, I believe. But because it's a little bit of a hole in the wall and not quite your typical American restaurant, my son, who's only 8, wasn't super excited about eating at this place. He said, "Dad, I don't want to eat here." And I felt in my heart, yeah, okay, we need to find someplace different. So I prayed right there. I said, "God, what should we do next?" And I had the sense of, you're down here, just go eat at the stadium. So we start driving along, and again, we don't have a whole lot of money, and I start wondering about where to park, because it can be really expensive, like $50 to park at the stadium. So, God, I feel like this whole thing has been a gift from you. God, direct me. And I literally wanted God to direct me to the best spot, because I've got my 8-year-old. I don't want to walk 10 miles or whatever it is to park at the cheap places, but I also don't have $50 to spend on parking. So I said, "God, direct me." And I literally just started driving under the influence of God. I crossed a street. I made a left-hand turn when I felt led to take a left-hand turn. And I'm going along this side street near the stadium, but it's kind of an alleyway. It's kind of a backwoods, between industrial zone type street. And on this street, there's little spaces. Every once in a while, there's these spaces that are street parking. I'm passing the $25 spots. I'm passing the $30 parking lots, but I just keep driving. And lo and behold, just down the street from the stadium, here is a free parking space. And normally, during the weekdays, it's only 2 hours. You can only park at 2 hours. But on a Sunday, I can park for free. So here we had a free parking space just blocks from the stadium. Because we were early, the space was available. I asked the guy on the street, I said, hey, is this okay? Really okay to park for free? He said, yeah, this is the best spot there is. I always park here when I go to the games. I knew that was God. So me and Everett go to the game and we have a blast. Getting us cool little snapshots and getting spots where we got to go just because we went early. And the only reason we went early was because I thought we were going to eat lunch at that restaurant. But God had other plans for us. And even though I thought my son was just being picky, actually, that was totally God. And our best experiences with that game was actually being there 3 hours early. It was a blast. We got to do throwing games through, look for little prizes, and we got to go right down to the field, all because we were one of the first people into that stadium. What a great day. What a great experience of seeing how God can move us and literally help us drive to a free parking space.